What's going on? It's Astronaut H, and this is the What More Do You Want Network. Now, in this video, I will be discussing tonight's game between the Chicago Bulls and Charlotte Hornets, and of course, this is my Bulls report. Now, the Chicago Bulls are coming off of a win over this same Charlotte Hornets team a few days ago, and of course, with the return of not only Zach LaVine but also Vucevic, it was going to be interesting to see the lineups that Billy Donovan elected to go with. In this same matchup, with the Hornets, they are missing a ton of players. Not only are they missing their star LaMelo, but they are also missing Gordon Hayward. In this particular game, they were also missing PJ Washington and Cody Martin. So they were very short-handed, but you cannot overlook a team with still talented players like Terry Rozier, Brandon Miller, of course, and also Miles Bridges. Now, Billy Donovan did elect to go with a similar starting lineup to what we've seen lately, with the return of Alex Caruso in the starting lineup. So Billy Donovan did go with DeMar DeRozan, Patrick Williams, Alex Caruso, Kobe White, and also Andre Drummond to start this particular game. Now, in the early parts of the game, you did see the Chicago Bulls offense headed by one being, Kobe White, but you did see Andre Drummond forcing the issue as far as rebounding was concerned. And the Bulls did jump out to an 11-2 early lead versus the Hornets in this particular basketball game. Kobe White three-point shot was there, and he was the main focal point of the offense. Now, for the Hornets, you did see them start to, make inroads into the Bulls' deficit early by shots by Terry Rozier. But you, again, like I said, you seen DeMar DeRozan get to his spots in the paint. You've seen him take advantage of whether the matchup was Brandon Miller or whatever smaller guard. But again, guys like Miles Bridges, hitting the outside shot, which caused Billy Donovan to, call an early timeout. But that's because, offensively, the Hornets started to find their way, I would believe, through the halfway point through the first quarter. And the Chicago Bulls' perimeter defense was definitely one that was giving the Hornets, just ways back into the game, especially guys like Terry Rozier, who had a great first quarter, which led them to have the lead after 12 minutes was played. So with the Bulls being down, I was definitely interested to see how they were going to, make a game out of this, because having a lead early, having a big enough lead early, I would have thought the Bulls was going to be up double digits, but that was not the case. And, looking at, I said the Hornets had the lead. I meant to say the Bulls had the lead. Now, when I looked at what the Chicago Bulls did, it was just pretty much Andre Drummond getting on the boards. It was, DeMar DeRozan, it was Kobe White especially, but guys like Ish Smith, getting in there for the Charlotte Hornets, making an impact. Thor making an impact as far as rebounding. But I did like what I saw from Vucevic tonight. He wasn't getting deep in the paint, and that was due to Nick Richards, defense, but he was getting to his spots. In the second quarter, you did see DeMar DeRozan start to get more acclimated when it came to his defense as well. But what I really liked was Vucevic in the second quarter. He was starting to pick his offense up. Now, again, Billy Donovan said something where, Vucevic and LaVine won't continue to come off the bench as they get, back into the flow of things. But right now, that's where they are. And I think, just speaking on what I've seen in the last two games versus a team like Charlotte, it worked for the better part, but I think we will have to see LaVine and Vucevic back in the starting rotation. Now, I do like Drummond. I do like what I've seen, but, a player like LaVine, a player like Vucevic, definitely, I believe they have to be starting for this rotation, for this particular team. Now, in the second quarter, you did start to see, again, like I said, the Charlotte Hornets three-point shot is what kept them alive in tonight's matchup. And as I look over the final box score, that's definitely something that I need to talk about and what we seen in this game. But, like I said, you seen Kobe White. You seen threes by DeMar DeRozan in the second quarter. You seen threes by Vucevic in the corner. And the Bulls were finding their way to have the lead at halftime. Now, as we get to the third quarter, you started to see the Charlotte Hornets and guys like Terry Rozier start to pick the offensive, gameplay up. And it was pretty much back and forth as we continued on. What I noticed in the third quarter especially was that when the Bulls were getting into the paint, that's when they were doing a whole lot of damage, especially from guys like I said, Andre Drummond getting second chance points, getting rebounds, getting things like that. But the Chicago Bulls, as far as rotations and man movement defensively, was what, kept the Hornets in the game. It was the 3-point shot. And I don't know if it's a case of too much switching. I don't know if it was a case of, guys not getting over to their man. But again, like I said, the Miles Bridges, the Terry Roziers, especially when we got to the fourth quarter, that's when you started to see more of Terry Rozier, because the Bulls were up. And Terry Rozier took it upon himself to go on a mini run as we got later on in the game. But again, like I said, Vucevic, a big three by Alex Caruso late in the third, which gave the Bulls a late 78-74 lead. You started to see Zach LaVine with three. And people says, you hear what they saying about Zach LaVine and things like that. I believe, at the end of the day, a player like LaVine who can still create and still make shots and take shots in big moments, you need a player like him. With the Bulls being up in the early parts of the fourth quarter, like I said, you started to see them try to pull away, but the Hornets just kept making a game out of it, and they did find themselves with the lead. It was a lot of back and forth in the fourth. 86-85, the Hornets did have the lead with 9 minutes to go in the basketball game. But DeMar DeRozan, with some big shots being made in the fourth quarter. And I'll get to DeMar DeRozan as we continue on. But again, guys like Kobe White, who, in my opinion, has been the most consistent and most aggressive Chicago Bulls basketball player in this part of the season, even with, the return of LaVine and Vucevic, I would still like to see Kobe White be as aggressive as he's been as of late. Not only taking shots, but also having the confidence to make the shots. Having the confidence to be the focal point of the Bulls offense. And like I said, with Drummond, who's a great pick and roll option, especially when, he's rebounding the way he is. You see DeMar DeRozan, and the Chicago Bulls found themselves up 100-92 with 5 minutes to go in the game. But again, they just couldn't pull away from the Charlotte Hornets. As we wind down to the later stages of this particular basketball game, the Chicago Bulls just could not put the Hornets away. And again, like I said, you up 3.5 minutes to go. There should be no reason why the Chicago Bulls were not able to put away the Charlotte Hornets. But again, the 3-point shot and not able to stretch the lead, being up 5. You find Rozier and he's hitting threes. You find Rozier and he's, the offense basically for the Charlotte Hornets. Miles Bridges with a big 2-point shot with 46 seconds to go in the game. And DeMar DeRozan, in my opinion, was one of the reasons why the Bulls almost lost this game. You did see Terry Rozier with a late shot that did miss. He thought he got fouled. And DeMar DeRozan ended up with a 2-point shot try, and he did miss. He is the closer, I get that. But you did have LaVine and Vucevic on, you have Vucevic at the top. You have Zach LaVine on the wing. They were open if you swing the ball. But as we got into overtime, the Bulls found themselves up late, able to pull away by just playing some sound offense, mainly Vucevic, some good passing, some good offensive just rotations, and the Bulls found themselves just up, not double digits, they were up 6 with 3.5 to go in overtime. The Hornets couldn't get pretty much nothing going in OT. You seen a big rebound by Vucevic, a couple tap-ins. And like I said, the Chicago Bulls found themselves on the winning end of tonight's matchup versus the Charlotte Hornets by a final score of 119 to 112. The Chicago Bulls are now winners of their last 2 games. And like I said, man, this particular game versus a Charlotte Hornets team who a lot of people said the Bulls shouldn't have struggled with. Listen, at the end of the day, every team is a professional team, and you cannot just think because your team is penciled in to win the game, you're just going to win handedly. And the Chicago Bulls found themselves on the winning end of a basketball game. You know, the team is now 17-21 on the season. Final box score, you had DeMar DeRozan with 18 points, Patrick Williams with 8 and 5. I know Patrick Williams' minutes is dwindling, kind of, sort of, but, you know, you did have Andre Drummond with a double-double with 21 and 15, Vucevic with a double-double with 21 and 10, Kobe White with 27, 6 and 5, Alex Caruso with 5 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, Zach LaVine with 9 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and I know Zach LaVine should have more points, but again, he's still coming off the bench. Javon Carter with 2 points, Ayo Dosunmu with 6, Dalen Terry in limited minutes with 2 points. The high man in the game for Charlotte was Terry Rozier with 39. Miles Bridges did have 24 points, and Nick Smith Jr. did have 15. And again, like I said, the Chicago Bulls, with these games coming up on the road, found themselves on the winning end of tonight's matchup. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Chicago Bulls fans, Charlotte Hornets fans, or if this is just your first time tuning into the channel, please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can know anytime a video is being uploaded to this channel. It's Astronaut H. This is the What More Do You Want Network, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.